Dear students, hearty welcome to the classes on this week. I am C.B. Joseph, your computer science teacher. Today, we learn the first chapter of your textbook, and the first chapter of your textbook is the hardware components of the computer. In the first chapter, we discuss about the hardware components of the computer. What is called hardware? We have heard about the term hardware in the previous classes. What is hardware? We know the physical components of the computer together called hardware. Hardware refers to the physical components of the computer, and the hardware is categorized into two. There are two categories of hardware, and they are internal hardware and external hardware. The two categories of hardware are internal hardware and external hardware. First, we discuss about internal hardware. What is called internal hardware? The hardware components that are fixed inside the CPU cabin are called internal hardware. So what is internal hardware? All the hardware components that are fixed inside the CPU cabinet are called internal hardware. For example, the motherboard, the CPU, RAM, ROM, sound card, video card, all these are examples for internal hardware. So internal hardware means all the hardware components that are fixed inside the CPU cabin. We discuss about each of the internal hardware devices. First, we discuss about motherboard. What is called a motherboard? A motherboard, or it is also called a system board. A motherboard is also called a system board. A motherboard or system board is the main circuit board of a computer. The motherboard is the main circuit board of a computer that holds the most essential parts of the computer system. So a motherboard is the main circuit board that contains the most essential part of computer system. All the hardware components, both internal and external, are attached to the computer, are attached to the motherboard directly or indirectly. But all the hardware components, both internal and external, are attached to the motherboard directly or indirectly. So the motherboard serves as a single platform to connect all the parts of the computer. So it is the platform that connects all the parts of the computer and allows them to communicate with each other. It also allows the different parts of the computer to communicate with each other. A motherboard is mounted inside the CPU cabinet. The motherboard is mounted where? Inside the CPU cabinet. So these are the features of motherboard. And here we see the picture of a motherboard and the various internal and external hardware devices attached to the motherboard. We have learned that the motherboard is a platform that contains all the internal and external hardware devices. All the internal and external hardware devices are attached to the motherboard internally, directly or indirectly. So we see the various components. We see the various components attached to the motherboard here. We don't want to go to the details of each of these components, but let us understand that the motherboard is the main circuit board of the computer that contains all the internal and external hardware devices attached. Now we see the various components that are attached to the motherboard. The various components that are attached to the motherboard are the processor chip or CPU, BIOS means basic input output system, then the memory chips, that means RAM, ROM, etc. Then external storage controllers for video display and sound card. Then expansion slots for connecting additional circuit boards. So these are some of the components that are connected to the motherboard. Then we learn about other various components in the motherboard. First we discuss about PCI. What is called PCI? PCI means Peripheral Component Interconnect. What's the full form of PCI? Peripheral Component Interconnect. PCI serves as a connection between a computer's motherboard and any connected hardware. PCI serves as a connection between the computer's motherboard and any connected hardware. The PCI transmits data and power between the computer and the device. And what is the task of PCI? It transmits data and power between a computer and the device. So the full form of PCI is Peripheral Component Interconnect. It serves as a connection between the computer's motherboard and any connected hardware. And then we discuss about sound card. What is called the sound card, or what is the task of a sound card in computer? A sound card is a hardware component that is fixed either in an expansion slot or on the motherboard. It can be either mounted directly on the motherboard or in a separate slot. And what is the task of a sound card? It receives and sends audio signals to and from the computer. A sound card receives and sends audio signals to and from the computer. A sound card converts the digital data to sound and sound to digital data. What does a sound card perform? A sound card converts digital data to sound and vice versa. So a sound card is a hardware component that receives and sends audio signals to and from the computer. Next, we learn about video card. What do you mean by a video card, or what is the function of a video card? The video card is an expansion card that is used to generate video output to a display screen such as a monitor or projector. So a video card is an expansion card that is used to generate the video output to a display screen such as a monitor or a projector. The video card is also known as graphics card. What is another name of video card? Another term of video card is graphics card. The video card is used to enhance the quality of displayed images. And what is the task of a video card? It is used to improve or enhance the quality of the displayed images. So what does a video card perform? A video card is used to generate good quality video outputs to a display screen such as a monitor or projector. Nowadays, the video cards are already mounted in the motherboard. will discuss about the most important component of the computer, the Central Processing Unit or CPU. In the lower classes, we have learned that CPU is called the brain of the computer. So what is the CPU? CPU is the main unit of the computer. It is also referred as microprocessor. It controls all the instructions it receives from hardware and software running on a computer. So CPU controls all the instructions it receives from the hardware and software running on a computer. It is usually in the shape of a square or rectangle which contains millions of transistors that perform a wide variety of functions. So CPU perform a wide variety of functions. The speed of CPU is measured by the number of instructions it executes per second. So how do we measure the speed of a CPU? The speed of CPU is measured by the number of instructions it executes per second. And the unit for measuring the speed is megahertz or MHz. So the unit for measuring the speed of CPU is megahertz. So higher will be the megahertz unit, the speed will be more. And the main components of CPU that we have already discussed in the previous years, the main components of CPU, all of you know, are memory unit, arithmetic and logic unit or ALU, and control unit. So the main parts of a CPU are memory unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and control unit. Next, we learn about two types of internal memory. The previous classes and in the previous years we have learned that there are two types of internal memory, RAM and ROM. First, we think about RAM. What is called RAM? RAM means random access memory. All of you know. You have heard many times. RAM means random access memory. RAM or random access memory is a type of memory that is available for the operating systems, programs and processors to use when the computer is running. So the random access memory is available only when the computer is running, and it can be accessed randomly at any time. Whatever information we enter in the computer, it goes into RAM and remains there until the machine is working. So whatever data or instructions we feed into the computer, it remains in RAM until the machine is working. That means it is a volatile memory. RAM is a volatile memory. What do you mean by volatile memory? That means the data and instructions are stored in RAM for a temporary time. The data and instructions stored in RAM for a temporary period. That means it is not stored permanently. When you switch off the computer, the data is completely lost. When you switch on the computer, the data or instructions stored in RAM is lost. There are two types of RAM, static RAM and dynamic RAM. The two types of RAM are static RAM and dynamic RAM. What is static RAM and dynamic RAM? You will learn in the higher classes, but just understand that RAM is of two types. And why RAM is called a volatile memory or a temporary memory? Because the data and instructions stored in RAM are lost when the computer is switched off. And finally, we learn about the second type of internal memory, that is ROM. You know, ROM stands for read-only memory. ROM stands for read-only memory. It's a type of memory from which we can only read information but cannot write on it. In a ROM, we cannot write any information but we can only read the information from ROM. It's a non-volatile memory. Why it is called a non-volatile? Because the data is stored permanently. Even if the power is off, the data will not be lost. Therefore, the information is stored permanently in ROM even if the power is off. Hence, ROM is called a non-volatile memory or permanent memory. Here we bind up today's class. Thank you.